And welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben.
And I'm Kay.
And today we're doing something a little bit different. I hope your isolation is going well. If you're still going to work, good luck. Hope you keep safe and you're sneezing like this into your arm.
Like Dracula.
Yeah. One beautiful sneeze. But so what are we doing this time? We're going to review 3 films, kind of back to back. It's a...
It's your hair. Relax.
It was not a spider.
No spider.
We're going to do 3 films. The Good, the Bad and Harrowing. Back to back. And the first one we're doing is Sea Fever.
Sea Fever! The crew of a West of Ireland trawler, marooned at sea, struggle for their lives against a growing parasite in their water supply.
This is directed by Neasa Hardiman, and she does a lot of TV. She's done a few shorts, documentaries, she's done some hero stuff. You might have known her work in Jessica Jones, so she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's got a long history, and I feel like she's taken all her expertise and put it into this very close quarters film. And
yes.
That's what I liked about this. It does hark back to lots of other films. It pulls from things like The Abyss, any infection film. You have those like The Thing. It definitely has moments like that. Reminds me a lot of moments from Aliens as well, in the corridors of the ship. I liked this film. I thought it was good.
I did too. I thought it was very tense. It was very suspenseful, sort of like kept you guessing and what was happening and how were they going to survive this, and all of those questions.
There's this air of when you get an indie film that doesn't go to cinema and it goes direct to like DVD or VOD, there you can think, well, I know a lot of people think that it's not going to be as good, or because it doesn't have a big budget it won't be as good. But I thought this was much better than some of the bigger budget infection films I've seen because of how it's contained. I thought it was very well shot. It looked great. When there was CG moments, I thought I didn't think it was like, oh, that looks CG. I just thought that looks creepy, gross and weird. When they needed the horror moments, there was nice close-up shots, or you weren't expecting everything to happen. Don't get me wrong, this is a playbook. You've seen this film a number of times. This is just a different location. It's on the sea. It's Sea Fever. You know what to expect. I'm trying not to give spoilers, but if you've seen the trailer, you kind of know what you're going to get. It's just fun and easy to watch. I thought the actors themselves as well were pretty good. There's a newbie, the female protagonist. I hadn't seen her before. The other 2 leads, you will notice that they're kind of veterans in film and TV.
Yeah.
So you kind of sink into this is going to be okay. They can those protagonists that you've seen before. You'll be like, okay,
I trust them.
Yep. But the new protagonist, I wasn't expecting her to be as good as she was. She plays it very understated, but that's her character, and I think that's on purpose. So that's good. Is there anything else that you thought that kind of stood out to you?
Yeah, I think you've already mentioned it, but it was beautifully filmed. I thought the colour palette was really good, really interesting.
What about the prosthetics?
Oh, they were great. I don't remember there being a moment where I'm like, that wasn't very good.
Yeah.
I thought it was all very good.
What I really liked about this, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's not a very long film. I think it runs at about an hour and a half. It's not one of those horrors that just kind of tends to drag out all the shots. It's just, it's there to do what it says on the tin, and it does it. And it's quite fun. So I'm going to give this a B+.
Yay!
Next up, in the bad, is called The Iron Mask. Read the press PR synopsis for this, babe.
Sure. The Iron Mask sees action legends Jackie Chan and Arnold Schwarzenegger team up in a high-concept fantasy historic epic featuring breathtaking fights and stunning visuals. Set in the 18th century, The Iron Mask follows English traveller Jonathan Green as he journeys from Russia to China, encountering dragons, black magic wizardry, and a dragon king during an incredible but deadly adventure.
Okay, so there are times when I pursue films to review. This was one of them because I saw Jackie Chan's name, Arnold Schwarzenegger, fantasy adventure, as you heard from that synopsis, and I thought, damn, that is right up my street. This is going to be amazing. This film is such a weird film to review. Firstly, because you can't find it on IMDb, it's under a different name, so good luck trying to search that up. Secondly, because I don't know what the hell we watched. And we need to be honest, we lasted about 3/4 through this film and we switched it off. And I have no intention of going back.
No.
Tell us about this film, babe.
Well, it's like it's got potential, It's got potential, but I just don't know, it's like they set out to make a film that is a parody of a film, right? It's like It's like it's a joke, and you're watching it going, "This is a joke, right? I mean, this is a joke." You're like, "Right?" But it isn't.
It isn't, and that's what it comes down to. Okay, so you I don't even know where to start. I mean, let's take the language. It's meant to be English, but they have dubbing for characters for people that can speak English.
Oh, it's weird.
There are
What
other
the hell?
characters that speak English but don't speak English too well. Honestly, this film was just bizarre. Then we hit the fight sequences and the CG. The CG is just bizarre. I really, really wanted to love this film because there are fantasy elements, creature designs that looked great, I think, on paper. But when executed, when you see what they've done, the finished project, you're like, what on earth? How would you even release this film? The acting, I feel like Jackie Chan and Arnold Schwarzenegger were drugged. Like, how did they get involved in this project? It's one of the worst films I've ever seen, and I haven't even finished it, and I refuse to. There's not many films that I refuse to watch because, like, I've seen just House of Wax. I never walked out of that in the cinema, and we all know how bad that was. But this film, there is nothing redeeming about it, apart from maybe this is a great drinking game. Every time the accents or languages are off, every time you see CG characters that just look worse than PS2 graphics from a game, every time there's a martial arts sequence that you're wondering what the hell happened, why am I swinging this stick and then 6 people flippity flap and hit the ground, you'd be like, what on earth is happening here? Honestly, you have Jackie Chan, who's just been given an award for like lifetime achievement in cinema because he is a master at what he does, from fighting, obviously broken everybody in his bones.
Yeah.
Wow, every bones in his bodies, in his many bodies.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
You're
Arnold
passionate.
Schwarzenegger,
Carry on.
who is Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's Arnie, and they can act. You've seen them act. You know, Arnie does action amazing. Jackie Chan does action amazing and fantasy. We've seen them in their own kind of genres and titles of what they go for. So I have to leave this down to the script and the directing. And I just want to say shame on you. You have 2 amazing characters here. What the hell, man? Seriously. Yeah, don't watch this one.
Or do, and then just, joke with us in the comments below.
Yes, drink responsibly, kids.
Yes, please.
All right, let's move on to the Harrowing. And now we're going to do the Harrowing.
The Harrowing.
The Harrowing. So this film is a war film. It's called Danger Close.
Major Harry Smith and his company of 108 young and inexperienced Australian and New Zealand soldiers are fighting for their lives in the Battle of Long Tan in 1967.
So Danger Close is a war film, and you didn't watch this with me, but you were in the room for
I was in the
most
room
of it,
for a little bit of it.
You saw me holding my blanket like this. This film doesn't let up at all. There are moments when the danger it just intensifies, and then they intensify another moment, and then they allow their audience to breathe, and you think, it's gonna be okay, and then it's just relentless. 3/4 of this film is war action sequences. It's a lot, and I have to say it's probably too much. So I'm glad that the first quarter of the film is just setting up those characters that they go, okay, you're invested in. And that made me worried right from the beginning, because I knew they were doing this for a reason.
Yeah, they make you care about them.
Damn it. Because you have these guys that are conscripted. They haven't seen war. Most of them, this is their first time they've seen war. And they have this leader who's played by Femel, the leader from Vikings for the first few seasons, and he has amazing presence, and he brings that here, which is, I'm so glad that we have someone that leading these guys. You immediately feel like he's a father figure, although his character does go in a character arc, so by the time you reach that end, you see that he cares for these guys. He wanted to go and join his commander groups. He felt like these guys were beneath him, and as the story continues, these are like his guys. He wants to fight for them. There are many war films that can tug at your heartstrings, and there are many war films that just go, boom, this is an explosion. I feel like they do the balance of this very well. And I think this was the right time to be able to do this film now, because we have the special effects and the mix with CG to make it that much more immersive. For example, there was one mortar shot that the camera followed from being shot all the way to out. You saw it being red hot as it flowed all the way down, and you couldn't have done that a few years ago.
Yeah.
And it didn't look CG as well. So I have to say that the special effects, the explosions, all were done well. There's a lot of slow motion, so you get to feel as your characters that you've come to like over the course of the film, as some of them die, because this is war. Yes, they're going to die. I would say don't get too attached to any of these characters, because as true to war films, this is not a Hollywood storytelling.
Yeah.
They're going for accuracy because it's based on fact, and so even at the end of this, they do the classical thing with the photographs where you see the real people versus the actors, and I think they chose very well, so that, they look like the characters for the most part. They even have a little bit of footage that must have been taken at the time, and you see them just looking so harrowing. I think that's one of the reasons why you don't like to watch war films.
Yeah, I find them a little bit too emotional.
Yeah, and I would say that for the most part there is some of that here, but because there's so much action, you kind of get dead to it after a while. There's just explosion, that you expect them to die. It's very well executed, it's very well acted. It's some of the best close-up shots I've seen from, like, your cinematographer is good if they're able to draw you into and make you hold your breath while the guy is reloading the gun and there's a wave of bad guys. And I say bad guys because they aren't generally bad guys, they're just doing what they're told. It's interesting that you get some of the stats at the end of the film from both sides, who died and who won, and that's an interesting fact because they both claimed victory. So it's an interesting story. I would love someone to do the opposite side as well, having that story being told, because the victors often think they're the victors when they're not the victors, and who's actually winning and why were they even there. And that's like always the worst thing about war, like especially for that. Like,
the Vietnam War.
Yeah, why did they have to go there? And so it feels like a waste of human life. So that's one of the biggest tragedies as you're watching this. It's executed so well, but it's so sad. It has an undertone of, what the hell, man? Very good. If you like war films, it's great. You're not going to be happy. Maybe watch Simpsons afterwards, but very well executed. Definitely harrowing. Films back to back that you can watch on VOD now. I'll put the details below in the description so you can know like what has what release date, because some of them are staggered, where you can find them, that sort of stuff. Let me know if you've seen any of them. I know Sea Fever is being premiering, good English, man.
Yeah.
Is premiering on the YouTube channel Dust. So if you want to rent it from there, you can. You can also rent it from Amazon. So yeah, that you can find it all places where you stream stuff. Let us know in the comments below. Did you enjoy any of these? Are you going to try the Iron Mask with a drinking game? Thanks so much for watching this review. But most of all, until next time, remember,
live long and Tuesday.